BEEX project is a no-profit foundation about visual art and photography. If you want to help us, just drop a donation on buymeacoffee.com/BerlinExplorer. So welcome to this 50 minutes of experience. Today I'm with Cecilia Inés Rosalén Ruiz. How many surname and name? And yeah, welcome to this podcast.
Thank you very much. My name is Cecilia. I'm an artist from Argentina. Actually, I started studying visual arts. I'm a sculpture artist and I work with any media. My main media in sculpture is ceramics, but I work with any material that I can or I have next to my hands. And I also draw. And actually, I started photography as a hobby. Now I'm starting to do it more as a job or more as a dedicated art, you know. It's pretty funny because I never liked photography at all. I was that kind of person that would say, no, don't take pictures, just enjoy the time. And I would never have pictures. 3 years ago, I decided to move to Germany because I always wanted to travel all my life. And this time, like I always said, I made like the biggest journey of my life. And I was like, okay, I need to make art. It doesn't matter with what, I need to go somewhere else and need art, I need it. So I remember that my father used to have an analog camera. And 1 month before going to Germany, I started doing some classes. So I took a very short course and start my journey with my camera. That's how I started with photography.
And then you moved out from Berlin?
No, I was living in Dortmund, actually. I'm also a Taekwondo athlete. So I moved to Dortmund because the trainer that I wanted to train was there, kind of.
Okay, I understand now because I have seen some picture of Berlin, but I think you was in visit here, no?
Yeah, I was for last year for my birthday. I was in Berlin.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And how was to be in Dortmund?
Oof, it was pretty exciting actually. Very different because in Argentina we are very different. But being in Dortmund actually gave me, well, Corona got me in the middle of my journey, and my main idea was to fight in the World Cup. But everything turned upside down with Corona, and I was living in a WG, and one of my roommates was an artist. So he offered me to make an Ausstellung, an exhibition in Dortmund. And that was pretty exciting because I could dedicate myself to art and without having the idea of doing it, you know. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna be doing Taekwondo and that's it. And then Taekwondo got suspended and I had my group Ausstellung that I think I gave you the YouTube link to watch it. Yeah. And it was pretty cool because I met tons of photographers in Dortmund. There is a lot of art and cultural events that the government make. So it's pretty interesting because in summer you have or music here or an exhibition here or a different event here. That was pretty cool from Dortmund actually. I was very surprised. I thought it was going to be small and close and more like a town, and it was amazing. Met a lot of people of my kind, artists and people who I could share my photography.
That's nice to know that. I never visited Dortmund, so then
it's very cool actually.
I will do
I thought it was going to be harder. It was hard, you know, but traveling around and living all your life in your country is hard, in any country, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, for sure. When you travel, I mean, it's better to don't uh, expect something, and then yeah,
No.
just be open and see what happen in your life. So let's talk a bit about your experience in photography, and
Sure.
we can talk about. I mean, I received your file from Drive. I will publish, but I cannot risk to get blocked again on Instagram.
Ah, yeah, true.
And
Well, I can put some if you want.
Yeah, yeah, we can for sure do it. Yeah, but we like that. I cannot. I mean, for me, it's not a problem,
I know.
yeah,
For Instagram it
no,
is.
it's we had this profile that was 3,000 follower and more,
Yeah.
and yeah, then we don't have any more because I don't know. Probably yeah, we published it. I don't know a soft nude picture. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Uh,
Instagram is getting weird lately.
yeah, so it's a complicated that part, but yeah, for sure. As I remember, maybe yeah, we have in progress all these keynotes with you, no, the publication. I don't remember
Um, I
exactly,
don't
but yeah.
remember.
In any case, I will invite you. And yeah, let's talk about your shoots from what you sent to me, no? And it's
Yeah,
I can say yeah, that's our self-portrait, no? And
yeah.
tell me more about the process that moved you to self-portray yourself.
Sure. Actually, I started as street photography because for me it was easier to just grab my camera and go. And I didn't knew a lot of photography things, just with the basics. And I always like to work self-portraits in my art, like drawing or sculptures. I feel that every piece I make represents myself in some kind. It doesn't matter what I do. And I always like working or painting and drawing with my self-portraits, but I don't like drawing human beings. I hate it. So when I started doing photography, I realized that this tool was going to give me what I wanted to do. Like, okay, I can work with my body, I can show my body the way I like, but I don't need to draw it. So that was amazing for the first thought that I have from photography. It's like, yes, I'm gonna work with my body and it's gonna be easy, kind of. And actually I started like very shy with my self-portraits, like when you go around on the street and do it in a mirror with clothes. But one day I decided to just take the photography inside my bedroom. You know how you share rooms there in Germany is very common, and the bedroom was like my studio. I started having fun in my bedroom. I started to play with the with the lights, and I realized that I had a lot of things to explode, ah, to experience
Yeah.
with self-portrait, and after a year and a half that I started photography, I made a course with Ms. Sofia, one of my favorite self-portrait artists, and she gave me a whole new word for this concept, of self-portrait, with lights, with any kind of element that I used to do it with sculpture, but I couldn't use it in my self-portraits in photography. And I I really started to enjoy it because I realized that it was the same dynamic as doing sculpture. For example, if I want to make a picture, you start preparing all the set, the camera, the position, the way you want to work, the lights and everything. And the same dynamic where you work at a photography studio on your own, at least in my own, um, is very similar, because when you do sculptures, you just go around, you start working on the material, you go away, you check if it is looking the way it is. And I think that photography, self-portrait photography, is the same. Um, I also started while I was starting doing self portraits. I was losing a lot of weight because of taekwondo. It was like a necessity for being in a category for fighting,
Yeah.
and I realized that I became like uh, very obsessed of my body, which it was something that it never happened to me, but somehow it was nice because I started to accept my body better, and I started to work with other parts of my body that I would never work before, you know. That's how I felt. I felt that in photography I started to communicate better with my body and myself somehow. Like, yeah, like having more patience and checking if you're right, if you feel good when you're doing the work, how it makes you feel. I don't know. I feel that I start exploring myself in some other way that I really like it, that I really enjoy it. That's how it was that I started doing self portraits.
And can I ask you why? I mean, most of the self portraits they they portray you naked. That's what I see. I mean, especially on Instagram, or yeah, I mean, naked. I can also refer to only your face, no? But yeah, I'm more seeing skin and then I don't know, dress or other things, no? So other surface. And I wanted to ask you why more naked than dressed? Why more undressed than dress?
That's an interesting question, actually, because when I started working recently, I was like, hey, I don't have to be naked in every picture. Or yes, why not? um, I don't know. It's more like a matter of just showing yourself how you are without judging yourself. You and the people is going to judge anyways, because of course every time I want to upload something I think it 10 times. But for me it was very hard to feel comfortable naked with myself, to be honest. And this way is somehow a way of breaking with that and started feeling more comfortable. This was a long time ago. These things changed, but when I started photography I realized that working naked, it was simple, because it not because you have to think the clothes. No, it's just a matter of, it's just you. There's nothing else to communicate. And I think that your body, the way you move, the way you look, the way you stand up or do, communicates a lot. So I don't think that you need more stuff than that. That's why, mainly.
And
um
do you think there is something? I mean, there is kind of hided the research to, in a way, also discover yourself or to communicate something to yourself.
I think it was more a matter of um self-learning, this kind of being naked in the pictures, like, okay, stand up and just go however you are. That's how I feel.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, it's a topic I told. Uh, I just was talking some days ago with another photographer. She also doing self-portrait, and what we were figure out were about the things that most of the time self-portraitor photographer are women, and most of the time women choose to represent themselves in the nude body. And I mean, for me, it's the same. I mean, I don't judge if you're naked or if you're dressed. If I mean, I don't give a fuck about that. But yeah, for sure, I like to questioning myself why, and if there are also other solution to represent yourself. I mean, because it's simple, it's easy to be naked for sure. I mean, in our society, it's not really simple and easy, but uh, but yeah, it's in the natural anthropological part. Yeah, it's totally simple. But then what the body for real say and what you want to say through this picture is what I questioning myself. And what do you think is in the picture is saying for real something what you want to say, and the people perceive that in the same way you see.
That's funny because that's something that I was talking with my main teacher, kind of my mentor, uh, that actually well, right now there is like a very big movement of feminism and loving yourself the way you are. So I think that the main change, it was that ladies now started to feel, women, not ladies, started to feel more uh, free or comfortable, or starting to accept the way they were naked, because everyone is looking at us, everyone is making a comment on us. That's the way it is. And I think that this break during this period is amazing, because now you see all the girls naked, and I think most of the people there are going to say, oh, they want to show them naked and they want comments. No, I don't want comments. I just need to express myself. I always was ashamed of showing my nudity, and now that I feel comfortable with that,
I
and
think it's more this than the other. I think it's more a process of acceptance of yourself than I want to show my body.
fuck yeah, it's more an acceptance
But
game,
yeah,
and I think that
sometimes
it's
can be also no a provocation that you give to yourself, and then in a way, I think we are also slave of our provocation. I mean, we show ourselves also for what we probably are afraid of showing to others. And I mean, in my experience, most of people doing self-portrait, especially naked, not because they want to show them body, but more because they want to show to themselves that they are able to doing that. Even as a photographer, I got in touch with a lot of girls and also boys that they wanted to take pictures, and mainly what is the reason why? It's because they wanted to show. I mean, sometimes I got answer like they wanted to show to others that they were available, able to show themselves for what they are. And in a way, I think yeah, it's a really good exercise. In another way, I think it's totally the opposite way that you have to figure out your problem, because can be also the effect. Can have an effect. It's really dangerous that you start to show your body, that you are not afraid to show your body, but in a way, your body represent an images that is not you.
true. It's a risk, because you work with yourself, you work something inside, because that's how I feel, at least with my naked portraits. And people is going to think something else. You're going to take that risk always, but you are going to have people that know that you're doing your art because you're working on yourself, or because you want to represent yourself on that work. And there is going to be people that is going to say like, yeah, she wants to call their attention, doing it naked is going to be easier. You're going to have tons of that, and it's a risk. But you need to be sure of what you do. You can't be shy and just post a naked picture and then say, oh no, people are saying bad things to me. It's more, I think, of being sure of your work and being like, okay, I want to make a point, I want to make a message, I'm gonna do it. That's how I feel with my self portraits. I'm, like I mentioned before, with my mentor we were talking about nudity, because right now I'm organizing an exhibition. And at the very first, the concept with one of the organizers was like, okay, let's do porn. And I was like, you know what, I don't feel comfortable with that concept. It's okay with porn, but I don't feel that my work is going that way. I think it's more like a criticism of of all the way people think about nudity and sex and all the taboo about these things, you know. I think I work more like erotic way of criticizing all this. That's what I always try to do with my works, you know. Every time I work with sculpture, I try to make a point, I try to communicate something, I work a concept on the other side. And that's how I do it with photography. Yeah, sometimes I just see a shot and I just do it because I like it, because the light, because whatever. But I also work with concepts in my photography, and I also, as a sculptor, I make my own prompts, and there is the idea where you communicate, okay, there is my body naked, but you have an object that there is saying something else to you. And you don't only have the nudity. If you only stick to the nudity, okay, you have the problem.
Yeah.
Because I think that it's just a way of communication. The message that you get is going to be different depending on your livings, on your culture, on many things. You're going to take the risks always. The main idea is that you're sure of your work, I think, and that if you want to communicate naked, let's communicate naked. We came to the world naked. In Europe, people go to the beach naked, so here should happen the same.
I mean, I can understand a bit the feeling that you have, because yeah, I come also from South. I mean, I'm from South Italy, so then it's not really different, the feeling in Argentina, in South America. I mean, the culture is there. I mean, the culture is a bit more closed in that way.
Yeah.
And but you know what I think? I think also it's closed only there, because then the same people are come from there, and then you put it in another place, they are the most dirtiest than you ever seen in your life. I mean, in the porn way, they are the most extreme, no? When just you have to put them outside of them countries.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's funny. I think porn is a word really abused, and also nudity, erotic. There are words really abused, and for sure, because that there is no. I mean, when we see a naked body, we automatically have some structure in our mind to think about this is this, this is this, this is that, and we put in the boxes. But I think when I watch your pictures, and even this one you sent to me privately, I think about yeah, if you want to communicate with your body, probably you should push a bit more to research on yourself, and because what I see is for sure probably the first part. I mean, I think the best of photography come up when you don't know anymore what kind of picture you have to do it, and then you start to doing the real picture. When you don't think, when you don't think anymore, and then everything come normally. But it's really difficult with self-portrait, because self-portrait absolutely you have to set a bit yourself, and
Yeah.
and the setting yourself in a way is also a way to influence your decision. This is the point. So I mean, I think the best, especially when you want to work with nudity, is to doing when you are exactly in the moment nude. I mean, it's like, yeah, I'm going to make a shower, and then I sit on the toilet to shit, and oh, I want to take a picture of myself. I'm shitting, and I mean, it's totally natural. It's not
Hell
like,
yeah.
oh, I want to take some picture of myself, so then now I undress myself, and yeah, oh, maybe I need to, I don't know, make up myself or not make up myself. Oh, I want to put a light like this. I think the most natural is the situation. The most intensive is the communication can be behind the shooting, especially in self-portrait, because yeah. This is also really funny, cruel, and utopian things that in any case, self-portrait will always have as influences from the outside, because it's the way you look at yourself. So in a way, you don't have to look at yourself, and you have to
True.
let the camera go over that.
And that's really funny because I work the way you said that you have to set up the place, and that you think that the less you think is the more true kind of work that you do. Actually, that's pretty funny because I do the opposite thing. I try not to think the shoots. I'm just, now that I got the practice of photography, it's more like, oh, I like that light on my body. Okay, I just take the pictures. I just take my clothes, put the camera, that of course it takes a little bit of more time because you need to focus. I use analog camera, so everything is manual. So I have to think twice what I do.
Yeah.
But actually, I like that dynamic. Even when, now that I'm doing a mentorship, the teacher is asking me all the time to make lots of photography sets. And I'm like, you know what? I have this problem. I really like it, but I enjoy more the dynamic of analog camera. I just see the picture, I set up everything, I take 3 or 5 pictures at least, and then leave. Because yes, I like all the preparation and the digital camera. It gives you lots of opportunities. But it has this, you start thinking a lot, you start checking a lot. The analog camera is more like a thing of, okay, I like that light. Okay, I'm gonna set up the camera, I'm gonna think it, you shoot, and that's it. And that's how I try to work. Most of my self-portraits in analog camera are not premeditated. It's more like, oh, I like that window, I like that reflection. Okay, let's see how it looks. No, I don't like it, I don't take it. Okay, yes, I like it. Okay, I do too. That's how I work, because like I like preparing everything, but after prepare everything is like more like, oh, okay, do I want to shoot now? I feel that the way you say that when you do it just immediately or without thinking, the essence is there more. I wouldn't say easy, but I think that you just think it and you do it because you don't think it that much. So it's going to be there.
Yeah, for sure. So I thank you a lot for the time we talked today. We went over our 50 minutes. And, if anyone wants to see your work, can see the link in the description.
Yes.
I hope that you enjoyed that conversation too. And thank you again.
No, thank you very much for the chance. And I really enjoyed the project, actually. I'm very excited that you asked me to interview me from Germany, because I don't know, even though Germany was hard for me, it gave me a lot in photography and in my art. So I don't know, Germany has a place in my heart somehow.
Thank you for listening to this podcast, and if you want to learn more about us, you can visit the link allmylinks.com, Berlin Explorer, or our website beexproject.com. And if you want to follow us, you can always get news from Instagram on our account BEEX Project. Thank you again, and see you in the next episode.